Hey everyone, welcome back to Wicket, and I thought I'd do a quick review on the second ODI between Bangladesh and South Africa. So unlike the first ODI, Bangladesh did not play too well in this one. They batted first on what was a very juicy ODI deck. In those first 10 overs, the ball did more than it had the whole of the Pakistan vs Australia Test series. It was a difficult period to bat, and Bangladesh did succumb because they haven't really had much practice in those conditions for a while, and you could tell by the way the players were struggling against that sharp bounce, but not only that, that dip in bounce as well for the ones that were staying low. Generally, when pitches are like that, those balls that do a lot don't get the batsman out, and then the ones that don't do too much get you out. But actually, the first 5 wickets for Bangladesh were the opposite. All the balls that were popping and bouncing and staying low were all the dismissals, basically. Bangladesh can count themselves a bit unlucky in that scenario, and they were left at 5 for 34. It's always going to be a very hard road back from there. Bangladesh can take a lot of positives from how they handled that situation, especially with the likes of Afif and Mehedi, the 2 youngsters who did it against Afghanistan and got that huge partnership. They got another decent partnership in this innings as well. Afif top scoring with 72, Mehedi scoring nearly 40 as well. Those 2 look like real finds for Bangladesh's future, especially with the bat. And they both bowl. Mehedi bowls quite a lot and Afif bowls a bit too. Looking at South Africa's bowling, to restrict Bangladesh to only 195 after going for over 300 that first game was a really good bounce back from their bowlers. The class of Kagiso Rabada was on show. He picked up 5 for. This pitch was perfect for him because he already bowls quite stump to stump, and he just bowled a bouncer every now and then. A couple stayed low, and he was using that pop really well to his advantage. Bangladesh can take courage that the old Bangladesh, or the usual Bangladesh, would probably have been 5 for 30 and just gotten rolled for like 80. But they showed fight and nearly got to 200, and they didn't get bowled out. So that fight is something that Bangladesh has always lacked in their game, especially overseas. But it's really good to see that, and I think they can take a lot of positives from that. Then South Africa came out to bat to chase 190. The deck had flattened out because the sun was on it. Quinton de Kock used that to his advantage on his return to the side. He played brilliantly. He was just smashing it around. At one period, he was smashing it like stick cricket. I think he hit like 5 boundaries in 2 overs. A couple of the other South Africans, Yeneman Milan looked a bit rusty. He's a really good player as Yeneman Milan, but he hasn't found his form in this series yet, and he still looked to be finding his feet there. Carl Verena, again, struggled up top, but he ended up batting very well and got 58. He did a couple of lusty pull shots against Taskin Ahmed for 6. Bowling wise for Bangladesh, the spinners bowled pretty well, pretty economically. Mehedi, Shakib and Afif were all pretty good. Their seamers did get smashed around, mostly by Quinton de Kock and by Carl Verena towards the end. When you're only defending 190, probably tend to go a bit too hard, which you wouldn't if you had like 260 on the board. And you could see the way the Tuscan was bowling Shariful. They were really pushing. They needed to get the wickets, and that showed with quite a few loose balls from them. To conclude this game, Bangladesh have to, I think, mainly blame their batsmen. They probably should have scored more, but they can take a lot of positives. It was a dodgy pitch to start, for sure. It definitely wasn't that great of an ODI pitch. The series is poised at an interesting point at 1-1. Let me know in the comments below who you think will win the series, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.
Calm before the storm, things aren't as they were.